What's good, everybody? It's your boy Marcus Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux, youtube.com/Major Linux, majorlinux.com, tiktok.com/@Major Linux. I don't know. I am testing the lighting here in front of this computer to kind of see what this looks like. This is one of a few tests that I have so far. Right now I'm testing with my Canon EOS m50 mirrorless camera and a Blue Yeti microphone. Actually, as a matter of fact, hold on, give me 1 second. Like, this is recording at 1080p at 60 FPS. I know one thing I would like to do is fix this backlighting situation, but I'm not entirely sure what that's going to look like. I've got this Hue Go light here, but it's not. Doesn't seem like it's working very well. I've tried it back there. It doesn't seem like it works very well, at least with my iPhone. But yeah, it doesn't really work very well. I do like it though because it is, battery powered, so which means it's not plugged in, but I can turn it on and it turns blue. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it powers over the actual ring light here. And it's one thing I kind of want to see, like if I like using this ring light, things that, I just want to see if the ring light is going to be good enough to do these videos. It's one reason why I kind of avoided doing videos like this, because I do not like the harshness of the ring light. I'm hoping to get some information on a better lighting solution, something that's comparable to these key lights here. Because yeah, this ring light is just, it's too much. It's just way too much. But also maybe figuring out some other camera solutions too. As you can see, I'm looking down because I'm kind of monitoring the video feed for this camera on my MacBook, which is a considerable distance away from each other than it is like if you look back here and how this Canon M50, coincidentally, similar camera, just a little bit newer, and how far away that is from the desktop monitor it sits on top of. And the feed for that is larger too. So normally when I'm looking at the monitor, it's not as much of a jump to look down and up to check, as opposed to looking all the way over here and then looking back over here. I kind of like this setup when I'm using my wife's old desk. I bought her new desk, so I took her old desk, brought it up here to kind of augment my old desk. But now that I have this new one behind me, it's still very useful. Who knew? So yeah, just testing this here, seeing what this looks like, seeing what it looks like in editing. And yeah, let's go check out some other stuff in the other room. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mark Summers, Major Linux, and hey, I'm testing from the office now. Unfortunately, I thought that I'd have this whiteboard that I'd be able to use, but apparently I'm sitting too low to actually use it. Also with this test here, I'm still again using the Canon EOS m50 mirrorless camera. I have the light here, I have the ring light here, but it's not on. I decided to go off with it, mainly decided not to use it for this test in particular because of the fact that this room actually is being lit with natural light. Unfortunately, it's being lit on this side here, so you can see here, very, very dark. What I may end up doing is maybe a second test from within this room with the actual light. I know I could not do it in the studio because of the fact that that room, while there is light coming from this room and there's light coming from the stairwell leading into that space, the windows are obscured by either this room or a wall. So there's not as much light coming through. I actually have to artificially light myself in that room even during the day. But here, I don't have to. It's just that if I were to use this desk or if I were to record in here, I would probably need to either be facing that window directly to get all majority of my face lit, or I actually am going to have to use an artificial light to kind of, punch up this side of my face. But honestly, I like being able to record here. So the desk, like, again, you couldn't see any of these desks, and just to point it out, the desk, I actually am using a desk in here as well. This is the desk that I am using is my old computer desk that I had in the studio. It's allowing me to, be able to sit down and record videos that are not in there, and I kind of like it. What I'm hoping to do with a lot of this stuff is being able to sit there and record content and actually have equipment sitting here in front of me that kind of helps facilitate a lot of that. There's still some things like zooming that I have to kind of work out with this desk because of the fact that well, I don't know. Because I do have some other equipment in here that I can use, actually can bring that camera a little bit closer and can allow me to do things that I would like to do. I know that when it comes to using things like the teleprompter that I have, that may not be a thing that I can do as easily, but what it'll still do is allow me to kind of mount the camera closer that way we can get a better depth of field, similar to what we have currently in the studio. Because honestly, with that desk now and how I have that camera set up, which is a wonder I haven't done that before, is actually having, like, I had the equipment but never really thought about it until a few days ago, to actually try to bring the camera closer to me to kind of bring out the depth of field, like have me in the focus, and definitely anything behind me, like, just deeply out of focus for that shallow depth of field. It's something that I'm trying to address, trying to fix, and trying to make this a little bit better. It's also going to manifest itself with microphones as well. Like, even I am using the Blue Yeti here. I have a Elgato Wave 3 over there on my recliner. I've been looking at trying to do lapel work as well, especially if I want to do standing, walk around, and or maybe do other content where, it may not be feasible for me to have a mic right here. But honestly, it's nice to have this mic sitting off to the side and now having these camera angles in a way to where I don't have to worry about having lapels. I can keep mics off and out of the way and still be able to produce amazing content, or at least what I believe would be amazing content, without having to worry about, mics, like, in the way, in some form or fashion, whether they're mounted to things or they're just attached to a shirt and you just hear a whole bunch of shirt rumble. There's no need for all of that because we have mics that are just off out of the way. Also, a little bit of background. When it comes down to unboxing videos, this is actually probably the room I'll be doing unboxings in. So you'll notice that, hey, it may not look like, you may not see as much carpet anymore. It actually, there'll be a black surface. I'm going to try to clean off this desk. But I still may bring, like, the black tablecloth. I'm preparing to not have that tablecloth anymore because it belongs to somebody else and I have to return it. But I will probably be having unboxing videos shot in here now, we're at a table where I can actually probably sit down a little bit more, be able to operate a little bit more, and giving, like, working with camera angles, working with new set of equipment, being able to have better angles without, showing the carpet, without having to be very conscious of what's going on. I can actually sit underneath a table so I can hide my feet, because that was a big thing with a lot of the unboxings. Like, how do I shoot this without showing my bare feet, which are not the best things to look at. They will not score well on WikiFeet. But yeah, so I'm trying to get some things better, working on a lot of amazing things within this house, within the studio and the office space, because it's one thing that I fell in love with this house for. This was one reason why I fell in love with this house. I had, like I've mentioned before, like it's a ranch house with a bonus floor, with a couple of extra rooms. This whole space is mine. The office space, the studio space, and I get to do what I want with it. So now being able to bring in equipment, have the tables, have the tabletops, the surfaces, the desk, to be able to do the things that I want to do and, like, kind of not have to hack it as much as I've done it before will be great. I'm really excited about this. Hopefully now with the table stuff with the computer equipment, especially with the M1 Pro, the M1 Max that I have here with the Mac Mini, with the M1 Pro, MacBook Pro. Again, not the Max. It's not the best, but hey, it works well in a pinch. And also with the PC, you know, I feel like I've been building up a lot of stuff in 2021 to be able to really try to bring decent content in the future with it just being myself. Honestly, I would like to work with people, but I understand, like, for me, I live in a very, very, very remote place, and I'm very particular, mainly because of the fact that there is still a pandemic, and I know I don't want to be around a lot of people during all of that. So having to try to figure this out on my own has been a challenge, but it's been fun. It's what I enjoy doing. Also, it's learning this stuff. I feel like it helps me to help other people who want to try to get into this space, who will like to do content like this, who like to create content but can't because they're introverted, they don't know a lot of people, they don't want to be around a lot of people, or they just don't have the ability to be around people who can help them out. One thing I do want to work on, though, is maybe finding somebody who can help edit content better than I can. I'm okay, not the best, but I would definitely like to see if I can find somebody who can help me edit these videos, and be able to compensate them for that work. That's the big thing. I don't want to sit there and, be the person who, what is it? I don't want to be that person who, help me edit the videos and then stiff them on payment. That's not the thing. I want to make sure that people are compensated for the work that they do, because there are amazing creators out there who love doing this, who are very, very talented at it. And I know that given the opportunity, they can make my stuff pop. But also, again, with me working with this equipment, I got to make sure that I provide them with the best raw footage that I can, so that they can help me get to that next level. So yeah, like 2020, 2021 has been, for as terrible as terrible as these couple of years have been. It's allowed me to be able to kind of focus, research, and kind of iterate on things that I've been wanting to work on for years. It's one thing I've been kind of excited for, especially with the lockdowns and having to, stay home and really kind of hone this stuff. Being able to make the investments, like, again, blessed that I was able to still have a job during all of this, to be able to make the investments and do a lot of this research, do a lot of this homework to figure out, hey, what works for me, what the workflow looks like, and how I can sit here and elevate it going forward. So I'm hoping all this stuff works. I feel like I'm talking to myself. I don't know if I'm even going to post this, but I might as well address all of this as if I was, because who knows? Maybe it will show up somewhere. But I think I'm going to stop this here, and I'm going to try with some fill light. All right, so wasn't sure if I was going to record this one, but I figured I'd give it a go as well. So this right here isn't actually using the ring light. I would have kept it on so you would have seen it on, but it would have been very, very misleading. The ring light actually is off, and I'm pretty sure that I probably still could have used it if I adjusted it correctly. But I kind of want to say that, yeah, I am still using a fill light. It's actually a light that's off to the side here, and I'll pick it up. So as you can see, hey, it went away. But yeah, so I'm using, again, this is, like I pointed out before, this is the Philips Hue Go light. Again, battery powered, but you can still, so I'm going to see if I can turn it off here. So you can turn it off. Oh, no, that didn't do that. And I think I just may have messed up what I was actually working towards. So you can turn it off with the, if you hold this bottom button down here. And as you can see, it is, I can power it. I do have the cable for it. So this is what I actually use in the studio when I'm trying to, do all my purple lights in the studio for streams. Turn it back on. But yeah, now I've got to go back and readjust the color. But as you can see, like, it's sitting off to the side here. And, oh, there we go. On battery light, it says that it can only go to a certain brightness, but apparently in the Google Home, not in the Google Home, but the Apple Home app and I'm not sure if this also pertains to iOS, but at least on Mac OS, I can still crank it up to 100 even on battery power. So I don't know how long it'll last at 100% on battery. But at least or who knows, maybe because this was a revised version, they may have removed that limitation on the battery for it. But at least here I can still have it as a fill light at 100%. And, it'll sit there color in the other side of my face, which was noticeably absent before. So now as you can see, you can turn it on and it shows back up. Of course, yeah, there is the shadow bit. But again, if I keep my hand out of the way of my face, it is not that much of an issue. And of course, this is actually kind of on its very just bright daylight light, mainly because of the fact that I do have daylight coming in from the window. Probably if I were to use the ring light to kind of light myself within this room at night when there is no daylight coming in, then I may have to change the color temperature of this light. But again, it's a thing of being able to find creative solutions to problems. Like, yes, there are probably photography and videography solutions to this that were probably really expensive. This Philips Go light was $80. And you can probably even find cheaper versions of the same light on Amazon. I chose the Philips Go light because of the fact that I use Philips Hue smart bulbs or smart lighting in the studio, and I wanted something to kind of be a part of that, something that I can control on my Mac, something I can control on my phone, even on my PC, without having to get up and do things, especially where this light normally sits in the studio. And the fact that, hey, this light does run off a battery, so I can easily just grab it and go somewhere with it. Again, if I need it as a fill light in another room, I have that now. And being able to use my phone, again, like my phone or my computer, to be able to make those changes. So, again, it's a thing of spending a lot of time trying to solve these very, very unique problems and being able to find these creative solutions. It's one thing I like doing and will continue to do. So yeah, there we go. It's kind of some camera tests here, some lighting tests. Actually, I'm hoping again to hear back from someone about some different lighting that I would like to use in the studio. I'm trying to figure out what the lighting that we were using in the Raleigh stream, the Raleigh Stream Fest stream from a month ago. I would like to actually. I think the light that we were using from that theater was really nice, and I kind of want that one because it was amazing. And yeah, I feel like it's not as harsh and a little bit easier to use than this ring light that I have from, I think it's from Sunpack. It's not cheap, and it's just still not really what I want. So I'm kind of curious as to how much the light that I really want is going to cost, because of how much I paid for this Sunpack that I am regretting. But hey, it did serve a purpose because it was creating lighting for unboxing videos, at least. But yeah, so that's it. I think those are the tests. I think those are the things that I wanted to do. I did want to use this as an accent light, but I don't think that's going to happen because I kind of like it here. Actually, I don't even know if I'm going to use this as an accent light for any of the streams. Honestly, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out the accent light part. But yeah, I don't think that this light actually gets bright enough to become an accent light, or at least from what I've noticed so far with streams is that purple tends to show up a lot better than any other color I've thrown at any of the lights that I have in the studio. But it's almost like no other light works with this outside of purple and whatever I use to just light up the room when I'm just chilling in there. But yeah, I don't know. I'll figure something out. Who knows? But yeah, this has been fun. I'm really excited. And now I can actually get on with the rest of my day and my weekend. Stay tuned. Peace out.